I mean, it's probably like a C. We had some opportunities we didn't take advantage of on all phases. You know, it's difficult to play a very good football team when you take your first offensive snap and you're down 14-0.
The mistakes that were made, were they mistakes that maybe you thought you might see in the first game, not second game mistakes?
Yes. I mean, miscommunication on a punt, fumbling the kickoff, some blown assignments, some misreads, very, very costly penalties. Those are the kind of things you expect to see the first game, and then you improve. We kind of took some steps backwards as far as that was concerned.
Coaches always say a lot of mistakes are correctable. You can move forward, you learn, you watch film, you move on. How much film have you guys watched? And, I mean, are they correctable to move on mistakes?
Yeah, they're correctable mistakes. I mean, because everybody can see them. They were glaring mistakes. And the people who made them could see. I mean, one of the things I said, when you watch the film, you're going to be sick. And they were, because we had some opportunities we didn't take advantage of. But, you know, that's in football, and that's what makes football so great, because you have limited opportunities. And that's why the passion is so high and all those things. And if you don't take advantage of it, you're going to get the short end. If you take advantage of it, you'll be happy with the outcome.
South Carolina State's up next, a game that for you kind of goes back to the early days, I should say, of getting started on the coaching ranks.
Well, I mean, you know, it'd be good to go back and see some old friends, but you know, I've been back there as working for about 15 years or so. So it's a great place for me to get a start. A lot of good people there, but this is my home, and you know, we're going down there to do the best we can to win a football game.
Talk about your start, though. You did get to work with your mentor there at South Carolina State. What did that mean to you to get the chance there to do that?
Well, you know, it showed me one of the things that he always talked about was caring for his student athletes. And that's what he did, even when my playing days were over, stayed in contact. Then when I decided to get into this business, there was no hesitation in him hiring me, and that meant an awful lot to me, and it still does. And you know, he was one of those guys that kind of practiced what he preached. You know, brought somebody in kind of from the bottom and gave them a chance to work their way up. And if it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. So that meant an awful lot to me for him to do that.
This week, the challenge is it's another solid football team that you guys are going to have to face, and they're going to have a chance. They're going to have to correct those things that went wrong this week to have a chance to win.
Absolutely. You know, it's a new opportunity. It's a good football team. You go on the road and you play well against a good football team and earn a victory. It's a step in the right direction. You go down there and you play well and improve. It's a step in the right direction. That's the main thing we want to do. We want to take a step in the right direction. Number one, we want to improve. And number two, we want to go down there and win the football game. So we want to take the proper steps in the right direction.
What makes this team so tough? We don't really get to see a lot of the MEAC teams. What makes this one tough?
They're well coached. They're big. They got good athletes, good student athletes. They run well. They understand offense, defense, and special teams. They understand football. They have a history of winning. And so you put all those things together, you got a good football team.
Brandon seems like you wanted a leader at the beginning of the year. Seems like he's saying the right things. He said that he takes the loss, you know, puts it on his shoulders because there were a lot of things on the offense that he could have done better to help win the game, and he felt like, you know, he kind of let the team down by not getting the win. Is he improving?
I mean, you know, this is second game, and, you know, that's what we got to be very careful of. This is the second game that he played since he was a senior in high school, almost 3 years ago. So, you know, he knows that he has room to improve, and I'm glad that he's understanding his role as being a starting quarterback. I'm glad of that, and hopefully this week he'll come in, work harder, and take some steps in the positive direction. but for him to say the loss was his, that's a noble thing to say, but it's not the right thing to say. I mean, we all shared in that loss, and just like we all shared in the win, we all shared in the loss. And so we all have to do our best to improve, to continue to improve. And, he's just the guy that gets all the glamour, all the blame, depending on the outcome.
Did Tuskegee do a lot to slow down your offense, or was there things that, real big concerns with the lack amount of points that you put up?
We would have caught them. Tuskegee was a good football team. I will not take that away from them. But when we go back and look at the opportunities that we had, that's why a lot of us were really, really sick, upset. And they would say the same. Their coaching staff would say the same. They came and they beat us. They deserved to win. I'm not going to take that away from them. But there were some opportunities that we didn't take advantage of. I would have loved to see us take advantage of and then see how this outcome would have changed, if any. Can't talk about it. It's done. It's over with. We need to move on. That's what we're going to do.
Thank you, Coach.